A journalist should never become the story. One of the first rules you're taught in journalism. But times have changed, and sometimes rules must too. In today's time, shooting the messenger is fashionable. So invariably, journalists end up becoming part of the story that they document. This has been happening to us since we started exposing China's lies. It happened again last night. Our cover story tonight is about Wuhan Biotech. It's a Chinese company, a company that supplied rapid antibody test kits to India. Now, if you followed our coverage, you would know what happened. India found that the testing kits were faulty, so orders were cancelled, licenses were revoked. Wuhan Biotech also lost its import license for India. The story should have ended there. For us, it did. But the Chinese won't let it end. Wuhan Biotech and the government of China are in no mood to put the matter to rest. So Wuhan Biotech issued a statement yesterday. And the company has singled out WION with our name and pictures. And this press release was emailed by the Chinese embassy, which is peculiar. Why should the embassy be sending press releases of a private company? I'll come to that in a bit. First, let me tell you what the statement says. They have accused us of false reporting. The press release is 4 pages long. It bears the stamp of the company. It begins with a denial, followed with a long list of articles and links. These are international media reports about Wuhan Biotech. Almost all the reports say that Wuhan's testing kits work. But the last page is different. The last page of this press release features a clip from this show, Gravitas, a story from our broadcast on the 21st of April. That was the day when the Indian Council of Medical Research, or ICMR, had asked Indian states to stop using Chinese test kits. We reported this story in detail with facts. Now, Wuhan says we got it wrong. Fine, we welcome feedback. But they say nothing about our reportage. They make a mention of one particular video clip, a file shot of coronavirus testing in India. Wuhan says the right procedure of blood collection was not followed by the medical worker here. At least that is what we understood from their statement. It says, and I'm quoting, users are supposed to collect specific blood samples with Wuhan-made capillary straws. Use all our equipment, basically. The fact is that our report in April had nothing to do with that. Our story was very simple. Our story was about how Chinese testing kits turned out to be faulty, and we stand by that story. On this show, we have reported extensively on how different countries have complained about Chinese coronavirus supplies, and India's story is no different. India reportedly procured 5 lakh rapid testing kits from 2 Chinese companies, Wuhan Biotech and LiveZone Diagnostics. The ICMR, Indian Council of Medical Research, the agency which is leading India's coronavirus response, found that these kits are not working. In the state of Rajasthan, only 5.4% of the results were accurate. In other words, more than 94% were inaccurate. Wuhan Biotech says their kits worked in the United States and the United Kingdom, which is good for them. They did not work in India. So India stopped using Chinese testing kits. The import license issued to Wuhan was revoked. India cancelled the entire order. What was China's response? Denial and criticism. Neither the Chinese companies nor the Chinese government has accepted India's assessment. The Chinese embassy in New Delhi issued a statement. It said, labeling Chinese products faulty is unfair and irresponsible. Their words. China says this is preemptive prejudice. Now, this is where the story gets interesting. As far as we know, Wuhan Biotech is a private company. The Chinese embassy has been emailing and tweeting Wuhan's press releases, which is strange. Most governments, most embassies anywhere in the world do not push the agenda of private companies. But Chinese embassies have been at the forefront of fighting PR battles for private Chinese firms. What does this tell you? The line between private and government is blurred in China. As for the defense and complaints, China has mastered how to play the victim card while being the perpetrator all along. Question them and they call you racist. Cancel their orders and they cry preemptive prejudice. The fact is, it's not just India which has complained. Spain, the Czech Republic, Slovakia, Turkey, Finland, the United Kingdom, all of these countries got faulty Chinese test kits. So what are the Chinese trying to do with statements like these? Best case scenario, this is a textbook example of a PR disaster, supplying a faulty product and then blaming the customer. Worst case scenario, backed by their government, a Chinese company is targeting the media in a foreign land for exposing them. Their tactics, just like their kits, are substandard.